It's a race of two. After what was an incredible start to the Serie A campaign, which saw as many as 5 teams in and around the top spots, only 2 remain to challenge for the Scudetto. So, will Inter defend their crown, or will Napoli and Conte reclaim theirs? Hi, I'm the Football Otaku and welcome to my latest video, and I'm taking a bit of a detour this week. I'll be heading off to Italy where we will be discussing the top 2 in Serie A between Inter and Napoli. What are their strengths, what are their weaknesses, why can they and why won't they win the Scudetto this season? If you guys are liking the content, of course you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and let's get this started. Now, for context, with this video I will be naming 2 of what I think will be the strengths and weaknesses for both clubs. 2 strengths and weaknesses for Inter and 2 strengths and weaknesses for Napoli. And I will start first with the defending champions. Experience. I mean, we cannot overstate the importance of experience in football. And I feel that will be something that Inter will have in droves. Inter do have positive championship experience, of course, last year, but also the previous year winning the league title in 2021. This team not only knows how to win a Scudetto, but they also know how to lose one as well. 2022, where if it wasn't for a certain incident in Bologna, they would have probably won the league title there as well. I mean, we could be living in a timeline where Inter won 3 in a row. I won't be told otherwise. Anyway, that experience could help Inter lock in. And when I say lock in and get results, I mean go on a run of 7 matches without defeats, 6 wins and a draw, or maybe even win all 7. Not even convincingly, all of them of course, but they will do enough to collect a bag load of points, especially near the business end of the campaign. That's something that I feel Napoli don't have, as their title win in 2023 felt more like a procession than an actual race. I mean, no one wanted to win the league in 2023 for whatever reason. Juve had their own problems on and off the pitch. Milan were a bit of an unmitigated disaster. Their title win came far too early, and Inter, for whatever reason, focused more on the trip to Istanbul than winning another league title. I feel though for Inter, if they can lock in, which they did show last season, they could definitely go all the way to the championship. And I definitely feel for Napoli, they don't have that experience, especially considering that this is a sort of newish squad. This is a squad that's pretty new, pretty inexperienced, but they are getting results. But I will feel that there will be a time in the title race where experience will sort of swing Inter's way, and that experience will probably see Inter over the line. But who knows? I feel that will be one strength going for them. Another strength Inter definitely have will be, on their day, the Nerazzurri probably have the best team in the league. I mean, last season, Lautaro Martinez and Marcus Thuram were probably the hottest front duo in the league and still can replicate that form at times. I mean, this season it's been a little bit patchy, especially Lautaro Martinez. Again, that's something I will bring up later. But when they're on song, they're on song. And when they're on song, they score goals. Especially when they have a great supporting cast like likes of Barella, Bastoni, Çalhanoğlu, and especially in the midfield that has a lot of influence. I feel like that Inter team will definitely be the better squad. Don't get me wrong, Napoli do have a good squad as well. They definitely do have a talented squad. But I feel man for man, Inter are the better starting lineup. And in matches where it's going to get really tight, matches that are really going to need that moment, that spark, that quality, I feel that Inter will definitely have the jump on the team from Naples. I feel though for Napoli, their strength comes from somewhere else. It's not necessarily from quality, but I feel it's from that grit and that determination. But why am I talking about Napoli? This is Inter. And I feel that having some of the best players, probably having the best midfielder in the league, probably the best strike force in the league, again, on their day, I feel that will also tip it to Inter's favor. I mean, one of the rules of war, he who dies with the biggest toys wins. And I feel Inter definitely do have the bigger toys than Napoli. Now, as much as I say Inter have the better team than Napoli, one weakness that this Inter team does have that they could definitely hinder us, if you're wondering us, I am an Interisti, is depth. Depth is a bad problem, probably the biggest weakness of all. It's a weakness I felt we haven't solved since last season. The moment we have to get players off the bench, things don't really tend to go well. We don't necessarily have a bomb squad on the bench that could define or even swing games in our favor. I mean, take away Lautaro Martinez, who can be a bit out of form at times and has been out of form at times this season, and who do you have on the bench? I mean, Teremi is good, but he hasn't really lit the league alights. Joaquin Correa has been odd. And then you have Arnautovic, a player I'm starting to feel the club is actively trying to get rid of. We don't really have a lot of impact options off the bench. I mean, even look at the likes of take away Barella or take away Di Marco or even Çalhanoğlu, and all of a sudden we start running out of options. We're lacking in creativity, we're playing a lot slower, less fluid, and on top of that we don't look as dangerous, and all of a sudden results become harder to come by. And in our situation, that can be a bit of a problem, especially in the Scudetto, when this month where games are going to be coming thick and fast, and not just games, big games are going to be coming very, very thick and fast, and that could be a bad problem for the Nerazzurri and for Inzaghi. And it also doesn't help that Inter probably have a more chock-a-block schedule than Napoli. I mean, the Nerazzurri are still in all three cup competitions, League, Cup and Champions League. We're in this title race. We're in the last 16 of the Champions League, which is good because this means we have to play that weird playoff. And on top of that, we play Lazio in the Coppa Italia quarterfinals. And those games mean that we have very little turnover time. I mean, we could have situations where we are playing 3 games in the space of 10 days. And for a team like us, where depth is going to be a problem, that also could exacerbate the problem even more. It probably will mean we have to play our best starting 11 for 3 games in a row, because all 3 games are going to be difficult in their own unique way. And we all know how those problems tend to pile up. And it's not just that, but the Serie A calendar isn't too kind on us either. I mean, we visit Juventus, we've just lost at the Franchi last night, and now we visit Napoli sometime in March. I mean, this will be a make or break period for Inter in the Scudetto, and compare that to Napoli, whom I will discuss their schedule later. That will be a big concern for Inzaghi if we're still carrying all 3 competitions by the time we get to the latter parts. Now, I'm not saying we should win any of these competitions, but that's going to be one hell of a juggling act that we're going to have to be putting together. And for a squad that can be wore pretty thin, pretty soon, it's going to be a big challenge to be able to put up a sustainable charge on all 3 fronts. So that's definitely one other weakness I feel that will hurt us, will be the intense schedule that we have. One positive that the Neapolitans definitely will have on their side is Conte. Antonio Conte is a proven championship winning coach. You need a league title, you get Antonio Conte, and he will more often than not give you that league title. Remember, this is the guy who started Juve's era of dominance in 2012, winning them their first league title in 9 years, and then winning 3 in a row. He would then leave to go to Chelsea and win the Premier League. He would then return to Serie A and end Juve's 9 years of terror by winning the league title with Inter, a first title since 2010, a first in 11 years. So Antonio Conte is someone who built for championship situations. He's someone who can win you a league title. And not that Napoli have had coaches like this. I mean, they haven't. I mean, Luciano Spalletti was a coach who could get you top 4, he can get you Champions League, but isn't necessarily the guy you look at to want to win a league title. But he struck magic with Napoli in 2023. Conte is someone, if backed properly, can get you that title, and I feel that having him in their corner will definitely help Napoli on their way to winning this league title, and will definitely be a strength for them. Also, he's able to galvanize the locker room. I mean, the likes of Lukaku, who's had a very difficult few years after those 2 wonderful years at Inter, he's got him playing again. He's got the best out of McTominay, and with a largely limited Napoli squad, he's been able to get the best out of them and get them into a situation where they are ahead of the table, ahead of Inter, and I feel that will be one of their sort of big strengths for Napoli in this title picture. Another strength that Napoli also will have is they have a much lighter schedule than Inter. Remember, Napoli are not in European competition this year. Their poor Serie A season from last season meant that they missed out on European competition altogether. Champions League, Europa League, and even Conference League. So Napoli won't be having to make any trips outside of the country. They are also already out of the Coppa Italia, having lost to Lazio in the last 16, a competition Conte doesn't really have a great relationship with. Well, he doesn't have a great relationship with any of domestic cup competitions. I mean, he's only ever won one domestic cup competition, and that was the 2018 FA Cup with Chelsea. So, with already being out of the Coppa Italia, the only thing Napoli have to play for is Serie A. And that means a much lighter schedule compared to Inter, who are still in all 3 competitions. So that effectively means Napoli will be playing once a week in the league. And with the rarities of English week and not only having to play on cup nights, Napoli will be a lot fresher for games and will be a lot well rested, and will have a lot of turnover time in between matches. So I feel that compared to Inter, Napoli's lighter schedule will definitely play in their favor, knowing that they don't have to worry about traveling outside of the country and won't have to fulfill any other fixtures outside of Serie A. That will definitely play on the Neapolitan side compared to Inter, who will essentially be playing in 3 competitions in 1 point of the season. One weakness, though, that Napoli will have is losing Kvaratskhelia. Losing Kvaradona, especially the way they lost him, was really, really bad. I mean, ever since he came into the league from Dinamo Tbilisi in Georgia, Kvaradona has lit the league up, and he was arguably the face of Napoli's title-winning team in 2023. His speed, creativity, and his ability to lock defenses, and especially his link-up play with Victor Osimhen, was one of the pillars of Napoli's championship success in 2023. Now that he's gone, and he's gone to Paris Saint-Germain in really the worst way possible, they didn't improve on his salary, they didn't really have a release clause, and all of a sudden he wanted to go to Paris simply because he felt like he wasn't being appreciated enough in Naples. That is a big blow, because now you've lost your creative spark. You've lost a guy who can unlock defenses. You've lost a guy who can come up with moments of magic that can win you games. And so soon after losing Victor Osimhen, a proven goal scorer, somebody who can find you the back of the net. Don't get me wrong, Lukaku as well can also find you the back of the net, but it's going to be a lot difficult for him now to be fed. It's going to be very difficult to feed the likes of Lukaku if he doesn't have a really good midfielder feeding him. So it's going to be a lot harder for Napoli to win games, especially with the loss of that creative spark. They will find a way. I mean, Conte teams always do, but losing someone like Kvaratskhelia is definitely going to be a big blow for them. And also as well, one problem I think that Napoli will have is the timing of the project. I mean, Napoli won the championship, of course, as I've stated, in 2023, but I feel like this is a new Napoli team in a new project with a new coach. Are they challenging too soon? I mean, Are they ready for a title picture or a title charge? Up against an Inter team, like I said, that have a lot on them in terms of experience. An Inter team that has been together for quite a while. Yes, there are a few new pieces, but an Inter team, especially under Inzaghi, that have been together under 3 seasons, while Conte is still pretty new to the job. He's still pretty new as a squad that, to an extent, is still pretty new. And now they're already challenging for the league title. Are they going to be able to handle that pressure? Are they going to be able to, in that project, are they going to be able to withstand the pressure of challenging an experienced side like Inter and holding off an experienced side like Inter to win the league? I feel that that's going to be one of the big questions Conte is going to have to answer. I feel that it's a very new Napoli side, well, new in terms of the coach. And after the disaster class of last season, I feel like for them just being in the title picture again is something that's very, very surprising. So I feel Napoli will definitely start the title race as underdogs. And the real question will be, will they have enough in the tank to hold Inter all the way? Some say they probably won't. On paper, they look like they won't. But, I mean, we've seen weirder things in the league. So trust me when I say this. It's not going to be over, not with them. And even if they do, and even if so, I feel that they will keep pushing. I feel you'll never write this Napoli team out. Stranger things have happened in Serie A. And that's it. That is my video. That was my thoughts on my tale of the tape, if I can say, on Inter and Napoli on the Scudetto title picture. I wanted to get this video out sooner, but I've had a lot of personal hang-ups and a lot of personal challenges over the last few weeks, but it's finally here, it's finally out. Thank you again for watching through to the very end. You're an absolute superstar. For all the support I've been getting lately, thank you for all of you guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and all that other wonderful stuff. And until next time, it's your boy Football Otaku, and remember, real football always wins. Check you on the flip side.